A live look in Everett tonight where it's been pretty much a rainy day across the area.
Let's get to our meteorologist, Mike Everett, with a look at just how long the wet weather's going to be sticking around. Timing's everything as usual.
Steve, did I hear you say that fair starts on Thursday?
Yeah.
Have I got a deal for you? That's when it's going to warm up and dry out. In the meantime, we've got a little bit of work to do. Now, if you take a look up towards Bellingham, things are looking pretty good up there. In fact, skies cloud starting to clear, not tracking any active rain, a little breezy, not too gusty out there. Temperatures well below average by at least 10 degrees today. Well, it's kind of the byproduct of having a series of systems pushing on shore. But despite the fact that it's been a stormy day out there, things looking relatively calm. In fact, most of us sitting in the single digits right now, so I'm not seeing a whole lot of a ripple on the water. We looked at this earlier, but it bears repeating that the atmospheric river, that plume of moisture that's been right over top of us, was interesting what it did. It moved on shore and then actually retrograded a little bit back over top of us today. That's why we're still in that steady rain in a lot of spots. Now, it will be shoved off towards the east there, but reinforced by a pair of systems that'll keep us active in Tuesday into Wednesday there. It looks like Wednesday's going to be a nice afternoon. We've got one more system that pushes in on Thursday, and then we're going to get some warming and drying out of the way here. So take a look at satellite and radar. You can very clearly see that, yeah, some spots up towards Bellingham, not seeing much at all. Off towards the Olympic Peninsula, all well and good after that heavy rain this weekend. So now it's just basically the southern portion of the I-5 corridor and up towards the mountains where we're tracking some of that steady rain and rain-snow mix up high. Future accumulated precipitation, we've got a little bit more to go, and I'm showing you this for a very particular reason, because so far we've been very lucky in terms of mudslides, trees down, and all that kind of stuff, but I do have one area of concern tomorrow. There are no watches and warnings in place for this, but starting tomorrow morning, right around 6 a.m., we're going to start to see some of those winds pick up, especially down towards the south and the southwest interior. In fact, as we go through the day, we'll get some of those gusts up to about 30 miles an hour in some spots, and then back it off about 24 hours from now. So the reason I'm telling you all that is a little more rain on saturated ground. We get some of those winds picking up. We could see some trees and limbs coming down, possibly some slide potential down towards the south. It's not anything extreme, but just something I wanted to point out. Take a look at future radar. We will stay on the rain train through at least 11 p.m. tonight. In fact, when you join us again, we're going to see those snow levels start to drop, see some accumulating snow starting in the mountains. The entire I-5 corridor is still going to be soaked. And look at eastern Washington, an area where it doesn't rain a whole lot is about to get a whole lot of rain. You see those yellows there. It's going to be steady throughout the night tonight. Now that moves on. We get that frontal boundary that moves in tomorrow. That's what's going to pick up those winds. But you notice it starts to become a little more showery in nature and a little less constant stratiform rain. So looks like there will be some sun breaks in there tomorrow, and just kind of here and there right around 10:30 we'll see some showers over the metro area. By about 1:30 things starting to clear up beautifully. We'll get a little bit of a convergence zone that'll pick up over top of Snohomish County and Everett, and that's going to drive some snow up into the northern Cascades right as those snow levels are starting to drop. We'll talk more about that during the next half hour, but in the meantime we see some showers around 11 o'clock tomorrow night. That system tumbles out of here. This is when we're looking at some of that low-level snow potential. Now as it stands right now, not a whole lot of moisture to work with. Temperatures will be cool, so down to about 500 feet, we could be seeing some snow in some of our foothills, especially down towards the south. We'll fine-tune that as it gets a little bit closer. I'm not seeing a snow event, but you could see some flurries in your front yard if you happen to be in that region. By about 6 p.m. on Wednesday, now things starting to clear out again. In fact, just showery down towards Olympia and Chehalis, and that'll give us a beautiful sunset potential on Wednesday night. Snow accumulation, now that those snow levels are dropping, we got rain on all of our resorts yesterday and today, but we're going to rebuild on that as we go through the week. In fact, Baker could have 10 inches by Wednesday morning. White Pass could have 16, and Snoqualmie could see some accumulating snow, so we'll keep you on top of that too. Overnight lows will be in the 30s and 40s tonight, so not too cool, but still unseasonably cool for this time of year. 7-day forecast has some good news coming our way, though. Once we get all this inclement weather out of here on Thursday, it's going to warm up beautifully. Friday and Saturday will be beautiful, and temps will be in the 60s just in time for the weekend.